Hi, ciao Juventini. Welcome to my channel, the only channel that gives you Juventus news in real time. Today is the second episode of the podcast, and we are looking forward to the final game, to the Champions League final. We have a new guest, Maurizio. Ciao Maurizio.
Ciao Antonio, guys, very pleased to be with all of you ahead of the UEFA Champions League final.
Maurizio is a Inter Milan supporter. Yesterday we had Quentin that was supporting PSG, so it's good to have both sides of the both team representative. Before we start, first we want to thank our sponsor, TricolorMMA, the martial arts house in West Singapore, and TIFO, the new app. Actually, Maurizio is the owner of TIFO. Do you want to spend 2 minutes talking about it?
Sure, even less than 2 minutes. TIFO is a sports trivia game available for Android and iOS. The concept is you have 10 minutes of free time, test your knowledge, climb up the leaderboard, and play against other tifosi, other sports trivia fans, and show your colors, your passion, and your knowledge.
Thank you. Talk about passion, let's start. So how do you feel ahead of the final? Are you stressed, excited? Are you nervous?
Bro, I'm super old. I'm past. I'm beyond being stressed out for these kind of things. I think that is just exciting that in a span of a couple of years, Inter are back fighting for the title of Champions of Europe. I think that's going to be fun to watch. It's amazing that we are going to play against the PSG, which is a team that they lost Mbappe, they lost all the players that were supposed to take them to these heights. And now with a brand new team, they are there, they are fighting for the title. Inter probably they are a little bit more experienced.
Yeah.
Probably they don't want to be as conservative like it happened against Man City a few years back.
Inter has a better squad on paper, a stronger squad.
I don't know if it is better. We did well. I mean, over the course of the campaign, Inter were behind only twice against Bayern and against Barcelona. Right?
Yes.
So we are definitely a good team. We are in good position, but. And I know that this sounds like a cliche, but at the end of the day, it's one game, 90 minutes, maybe 120. You don't know what might happen.
Hopefully no penalties.
Look, it's part of the game, right?
Yes.
So let's see how it goes. I think that when you manage, again, it sounds cliche, but when you manage to get there, it's just great. Enjoy. It was an amazing ride. And let's see what happens in 48 hours.
Okay, let's deep dive into tactics now. What tactic do you think Inter needs to have to beat PSG?
Okay, now I'll sound like
no, yes,
like
you need to sound because it's your team. You support.
No. I think so. There are two things here in play. On one end, I want to make sure that they bring home the result, right? Like we say in Italian, portiamo a casa il risultato. So on the other hand, let's not forget that Inter made it to the final playing in a certain way. It's true that from a tactical standpoint, maybe you want to adapt, trying to control certain things. You want to make sure that you don't give the opponents too much room, too much space, too many opportunities. But on the other hand, trying to go into the final game, trying to do something that you are not used to, that's not okay. From my experience, I used to be a professional basketball coach, and of course I didn't play those games at that level, but we, even if it is for a championship and you're trying to do things that are different than what you are used to, it's not okay. Even psychologically, we got there.
Play in a certain way.
So why changing? So why are we trying to change our nature? We did very well with Barcelona.
Amazingly well. I mean, both the games were outstanding.
Well, but the thing is that, we made the mistakes that we know Inter will make, right? There's a little bit of, we are giving too much room to the opponents sometimes. We know that we are ahead, so we pull back. But on the other hand, they also show that, we never give up. I mean, those final 33 minutes, right? When we equalized with Acerbi, when we went ahead, it was just amazing. So they need to play the way they know that they can play, which is something that, in my mind, they didn't do against Man City. They were behind, right? They are like, oh, Man City is so much better than us. Says who? That's you guys are there. You play. You try to try to bring home the result, and then we will talk.
We spoke about players. You mentioned Acerbi. Who do you think is going to be the key player for Inter Milan? Who are you afraid in PSG? You can say one player or two players.
Look, I still believe that we got there thanks to Ram, Lautaro. So I do hope that these guys deliver what they had to deliver. I do not fear any specific player in PSG because they are actually the perfect example of a team that, as we said, they lost some major players, right?
Yes.
And now they are very strong. Maybe they don't have the ones that are like, oh my God, this is the top three players. Maybe Donnarumma. Because in the past games, if this guy, like Arteta said, in the past 180 minutes, the best player on the pitch was Donnarumma. This shows how well we played, right? Yeah. Arteta was still bitter that the best team didn't go. Come on, man, you're out. Just deal with it. Don't be a sore loser. So the fact that Donnarumma, which by the way is famous for highs and extremely lows, right?
Yes, it's not like Buffon. It was constantly performing always.
Right. Yeah, Buffon except against Sweden when he got scored against by Ibrahimovic, but
we forgot about it.
Yeah,
we forgot about it. Everyone in Italy, I think, forgive him for that.
Yeah, but look, having said that, what I hope is that maybe Donnarumma is not as good as it's been in the past two, three games. That's it.
Okay, let's move a little bit from the team to the manager. There are a lot of conversation about Inzaghi. Not sure about his future. There are gossip about UK teams want him. There is, I read somewhere that maybe Saudi Arabia came up with a massive lucrative contract. Yeah. What do you think is going to be his future? Do you think his cycle is ended in Inter? Do you think it's time for both the party to reassess and maybe move pathways? What's your opinion on Inzaghi?
So there's one thing. There's this narrative about Inter and Inzaghi. Over the past 5 years, they won only 2 titles. So and they're like, Inter were supposed to be the strongest team in Italian serieA, and they won only 2 titles, 2 for Napoli, 1 for AC Milan. And always fought until the very end, right? They lost by 1 point against AC Milan, 1 point against Napoli this year. So I think that it's a matter of what is that you want to build. I think that it is telling that even when you win the title, you're getting questioned whether you're going to stay or not. Conte just extended with Napoli because Conte makes demands that are very clear. I want to have a team, a squad that can compete.
So you think Inzaghi is not the level yet?
No, I think that Inzaghi, it's up to the club to decide whether Inzaghi is the manager that can lead this path to continuous success. Now, in my mind, success is not just winning the Italian title. In my mind, success is being top 8 in Europe every single year and top 3 in Italy every single year. This is a business. You need to spend less than what you are making, and only if you are in these positions, you can sustain the business, right? I think, though, that if Inzaghi, because it's a business, I think that if Inzaghi decided to go to Al Hilal,
yes,
as it's been rumored, or decided to jump to the English Premier League, it's a business, good for him. What is important is whether the club, as an organization, is in a position to keep on performing at that level. You cannot afford to be left behind.
So if Inzaghi goes, who do you want as replacement? I mean, assuming you are Marotta, you can decide, assuming any manager is available. Of course, exclude Guardiola, exclude clubs, the big names. But in Italy, who would you think could replace him?
Well, there are a couple of managers that now are available, right? Because we cannot simply say like you say.
Conte just signed
exactly
for Napoli.
So,
tell me, but it broke my heart this morning.
Yeah, because you know that Conte, when Conte gets there, and we experienced that with Inter,
yes,
right? So when Conte gets there, you win, and the only thing is, and I think that is a testament of how Conte is really, really good at sticking to his own principles. I want to win. I'm gonna put you in a condition to win. But I want you to commit to my vision, and my vision is winning. So if you are not willing to, the famous sentence that is like, when he left Juventus after 3 consecutive titles, you cannot go to a 5-star restaurant with a pizzeria badge,
$100 restaurant
with 10 euros,
something like this.
So you want a manager, and that's why I respect Conte. You want a manager, not that he cares about my respect, that's a good shit. But that's, I like the fact that it's like, look, I showed you that I can win, keep giving me these resources, and we will keep on winning.
I need to push the boundary, no? You can't perform always the same level. You need to race.
I don't know.
That's what Conte normally wants to do. He wants always better players, stronger players. Yeah, because, player could perform very well 1 year, and the next season they become a bit complacent. So you always want to push. There are even stories that Conte texts at 9 o'clock the player to tell them what kind of training they need to do, so keep the tension very high. There's legends. Anyway.
No, but this is part of the job.
So who do you want to?
But that's the problem. Who is available to come right now and take on Inzaghi's spot, especially because this can happen. It happened in 2010. Mourinho wins the treble, and he leaves, right? So who's available? Because Guardiola is not available. Klopp will never leave that spot. Yeah, exactly.
Like
why should he go there, right? So who's available? Thiago Motta, Palladino. I mean, so the thing is, Ancelotti just signed for Brazil. So
Mancini is available. Pioli.
Pioli is not available because Pioli is with Al Nassr.
He's still.
I mean, if you want to bring him back, but again, it's I hope that it doesn't leave. Inzaghi doesn't leave, so that we don't have to have these conversations any longer. But if he were to leave, it's not up to me to say, let's take Thiago Motta, Palladino, this guy or the other guy. I just hope that it's somebody that knows what he's doing. Of course, at that level, they are all great coaches, but they need to be able to understand that Inter needs certain things, and it's a tough spot, right?
It's a tough one.
So who do you get? Who would you get?
I don't know. I mean, it's asking the question.
Because Allegri just signed with AC Milan. Conte is gone.
Napoli.
Are you bringing Mourinho back? Please, no. Come on. That guy is toxic. You can't.
We might need to do another episode about Mourinho and the relation with Inter. It's a Juve channel. I need to ask you a question about Juve. We arrived fourth, last game with a lot of dramas, etc. What didn't work in Juventus this year, in your opinion?
So I would say, okay, you are not there, right? So you need to gather information from news pieces, voices, rumors, and whatnot.
You follow football like I do, so you have an idea.
No, I get it. So I feel like there was some sort of internal struggle between the club and the coach. The manager, Thiago Motta, probably came into a reality that was a little bit different than Bologna, right? Bologna, I feel like there was better sync between the club and Thiago Motta. I'm not saying that he over-delivered, so this kind of expectation, it comes with a lot of goodwill, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I've done things that other managers in the history of the club haven't done. Now he goes to Juventus and he has players that were already underperforming the previous year. He has Giuntoli that is under pressure because he has to deliver. I don't think that Giuntoli was willing to give Thiago Motta all that freedom that he might have experienced in Bologna. Thiago Motta, even in Bologna, by the way, was known to be a little bit inconsistent with messaging, delivering a clear understanding of what is needed. I think that needs to change, right? So whoever is going to now the club has decided that we are going to take care of the club side of things. General manager, sport director, and so on and so forth. And I think that it might work when you have a clear understanding of where you want to be based on the roster, based on the contracts, based on your youth sector, all the opportunities, and you have a 2, 3, 5-year plan ahead of you. You want to find a manager that will work on that plan, work and put this thing in place with the players that you have, right? So a better communication between management and manager, between the business side of things and the sport side of things, the competition side of things should help. But of course, I'm an Inter fan, so I couldn't care less. You guys can be relegated to Serie B, and I'm super happy.
Okay, last question before you go. FIFA Club World Cup. What's your opinion?
Okay, so there's absolutely no reason to have an additional competition. This is money. This is a money grabbing exercise. Look, it's a business, but let's not forget one thing: the guys that make billions of dollars, NFL, NBA, MLB, they are not in the business of squeezing every single drop out of their lemons. I think that we are playing a lot, and sometimes there's absolutely no need to extend the competition window beyond May 31st.
I mean, players are human; they need rest in order to perform at a level during the lower championship.
Yeah, but look. For instance, when you are in an Olympic year, the NBA players should they play in the Olympics? And here, I mean, Kevin Durant was famously decided not to play, and he got called out. But it's like, bro, I need to rest. This is not my thing.
You ask to perform at central level. They're human. They need to rest.
And I feel like that stance needs to be respected. They know better than anyone else how much effort they put every season. Football is extremely demanding. There's a reason why you don't play every day, right?
Yeah.
And even now, when you play every 3 days, because when you don't have the Champions League, probably you have the National Cup competition or the international break every month, September, October, November, and
December. The international competition.
So we need to understand that probably it's just too much, and this I can tell from direct experience. Even in the United States, nobody cares. The talent is so diluted that let me put it this way: you keep on saying that MLS, Asian football, African football, they are not at the level of European football, right? Yeah. That's the stance. That's the industry position. Now, all of a sudden, you have a World Cup for football clubs coming from all these parts of the world, which is great, right, from a certain standpoint. And then you are surprised that nobody cares about, clubs from Japan rather than from Argentina. I mean, there are certain important brands, but you cannot say that these guys are at the level of Man City, Inter, PSG, and so on and so forth, right? So people are like, who are these guys?
It's more a commercial.
Right, exactly. So it's a great money-grabbing effort, but I feel like this is something that maybe we can avoid. Let's put it this way.
In fact, Juventus might send half next gen, half player returning for loans is not going to use the top players. I mean, Bremer, for example, that is recovering from an injury, won't go to the US. So Rugani and Kostic will go to the US. A lot of next gen will go to the US. So Tudor will have a mix of play, which is not, I mean, if you go to the World Cup, in theory, you want to bring the pick.
Exactly.
So it doesn't make any sense. But
exactly. So and consider
Inter
also
is playing the final Champions League now. In 2 weeks' time, they need to go to the US. How the players feel? I mean, they are tired. They don't have rest. They don't have a holiday.
Consider also this. I mean, June 1st, the transfer window opens. So you're playing the World Cup, and then all of a sudden you get transferred to another club. What are we doing? So I mean, it's again. I'm not going to lose sleep. Well, because here in Singapore it's going to be broadcast early in the morning, so I'm already up. But
yes, that's the good point for us.
Exactly.
At least we can watch some football.
But otherwise, nobody cares. Literally, nobody cares.
Okay, Maurizio, thank you so much for your help, for your insights, for this lovely chat. Guys, thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon with the next content.
And play TIFO.
Yes.
Bye, guys. Ciao.
Thank you. Ciao. Forza Juve.